Now guys, if you've seen this video and you like it, it's your opinion. But personally, no offense to Miss Disney Collector, I'm sure that there's a lot of creativeness in here. And I do think there should be a Bug's Life 2. That's the film that Pixar needs to make. But just the plot of this particular idea for a sequel will not work. The logo looks good, and the music brings back to that Bug's Life feel. And we need to have that A Bug's Life feel back in our cinemas. And so the story basically, just going to point out the problems of this to kind of just straighten it out and maybe make a better sequel. Going to do another video about this potential sequel and what it should be. So, Hopper Jr., Hopper's son, which Hopper never even said he had a son in the first movie, now wants to destroy the Ants Party and marry Queen Ada to be the new king of Ant Island. He has the exact same goals as Hopper from the first movie, only this time he proves that he can be even worse than Hopper. Now, Hopper was a good antagonist in the first movie, but we really need something other than another grasshopper. So, that's only the minor issue. The other issue is it rehashes a lot of stuff from the original, like the climax. In this climax, Thumper thumps on Flick again. Hopper Jr. sends Thumper on Flick. And, well, basically he beats Flick up for, like, the amount of time that he was beaten up in the first movie. So, another thing, Flick makes this catapult, and catapults Hopper Jr. off into the far, far away from Ant Island. And isn't that the exact same thing that happened in the first movie, only with a cannonball? So, that's another minor issue. This movie is basically, or this idea, is basically copying the first movie, like Surf's Up 2 was. And Surf's Up, another movie that I really wanted to see a sequel to. And we eventually got that sequel, but it turned out to be a bad sequel. And they repeated the climax of the first movie, word for word. A Bug's Life is one of the most underrated movies. It's got likable characters and great messages, and just all is a fun movie. The ants can be mean-hearted, but some of the characters in the ant colony are pretty good. Like Dot, like Ada, like Flick, and the circus troupe. So the other problem with this script is there's no conflict. All the characters' lines are delivered in, like, mushy, sweet, pillow, like, basically no flaws. The characters don't have any arguments. There's nothing that thrusts the characters into an action, like, where they take to reach their goals. If a film is all cotton candy and rainbows, then it's going to be boring. It's going to be a movie that is just a waste of time. If there's no flaws in our characters, how can they be interesting? How can they be relatable? It's like taking all of Batman's relatability, all his flaws, and making him just as OP as Captain Marvel. So, overall, A Bug's Life 2, this one won't work because it's got a lot of flaws. But with the right structuring, it could be a really awesome sequel. So awesome it could surpass Incredibles 2, Finding Dory, and even Toy Story 3. So, thank you for listening. This also has some very good concepts as well, like Francis dealing with his anger issues. And he meets a ladybug, and her name is Scarlet, and they both fall for each other. That's an interesting plot. If the sequel wanted to focus on Francis, that would be fine. Um, that is a very interesting subplot, and they the script actually made an original character named Scarlet. It wasn't copied off of any other character in the original, like Hopper Jr. Um, but I it made me smile whenever Francis and Scarlet were on screen. They're two really great characters, and they're an adorable couple, like Poe and Tigers would be. Shrek and Fiona are a really good couple as well. Flick and Ada, I hope they make the sequel. They do get married and um, like they do become king and queen, husband and wife. So, um, hopefully, A Bug's Life 2 will happen very soon. I'd rather watch A Bug's Life 2 than Coco 2 or Inside Out 2. See you guys later.